How many times do you trust? How many times?
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Thanks for being here. You all may have heard Agatha welcome you all to the stream tonight. So yeah, we're gonna do some designing tonight. I've been playing Star Wars Outlaws on PS5, and I will say it's not the greatest game in the world. I wouldn't even say it's the best Star Wars game. Maybe not even the best open world game. Certainly not, but maybe the best open world Star Wars game, just because there isn't another one. Anyway, the ship, the hero ship of the show, is called the Trailblazer, and it is a light freighter. So, hello Johnny, hello Missy, thanks for being here. Welcome, happy Thursday. I hope your week's going well. So the Trailblazer is the hero ship of the game, and it is your basic light freighter that you can do a lot of stuff in because you're a scoundrel, because you're a smuggler, you're a criminal, you run cargo, you steal things from people, you steal things and give them to other people, you look for stolen goods, you know. And you need a ship that kind of helps you out with that. So in the game, it's described as basically a, for those who aren't going to play the game, it's described, it's like an EML 850 light freighter. And I think it's a Corellian design. Let me see if I still got this up here. Oh, prototype from the Clone Wars. It says in the game that there's not a lot here actually, but the guy who designed it based it off the old Corellian designs, and it was supposed to be like his big thing, right? He was designing it based off an old ship, and it was supposed to be his thing where you could just build a lot of them. They were simple, they were customizable, they were sturdy, they were reliable. And you can kind of tell it's not a very unique looking ship. It's kind of average for a ship. It kind of feels like the old, like, toys that you'd get from, you know, space design stuff. It's just, you know, it's very flat. It's got a front end. It's got rockets in the back. It's got a back end that kind of loads down, right? It's got this loading ramp and everything. Yeah, it kind of does look a little bit like the Defiant. I don't know what this is, this Reddit page that's got them all. Somebody built this in Starfield. But yeah, it's just kind of a ship. I like the front end. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the gunship from Aliens, with that sort of Apache clear cockpit on it. It's got a pilot and a co-pilot seat that are kind of offset. It's got a cargo area. It's got places inside that are like a viewing area and like a nice round couch with a table in it that's got a nice view, kind of the front port. And then it's got like a kitchen area, and it's even got a little toilet in it. Like you can open a door and there's a toilet, and you're like, okay. And it's got like a workbench area, and it's got like a side access ramp, and it's got a main cargo ramp. So it does its job. Nothing super flashy about it. What's kind of cool is you also get this speeder. Both of these things are things you've stolen in the game early on. And the ship itself is part of the reason this one bad guy in the game, you're all bad guys. Nobody's a good guy. But the worst of the bad guys is after you. The main crux of like the main missions and stuff. You've stolen this ship of his, and it's his design. It's the last of its kind. It's a prototype, blah, 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 all this stuff, right? This story is supposed to take place kind of like in between, I think, Hoth and Return of the Jedi. So the galaxy's still sort of in tumult, and the Empire is still very strong. So there are factions that you fight with. Crimson Dawn's a faction, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the minifigure. Crimson Dawn, the Pikes, the Hutt Cartel, and then the Ashigas, which I think is a new one. I haven't heard that one before. And then the Empire, right? The Empire is not somebody you do business with. It's just somebody you're constantly kind of stealing from. And they have territories that you can go in and out of and sneak in and out of. And you will get caught and killed. In most cases, when you get caught doing something, all they're going to do is kick you out of their area. But you can also get killed. I think this is probably going to be the best. You can get killed, and you basically start from your last checkpoint. But you can also just get kicked out of an area. So if you played Assassin's Creed, this is the type of game it is. I'm going to get a picture of K-Vess up here too, so I can see what she looks like. I have not played a lot of Assassin's Creed, so I'm not used to the stealth missions as much. She's got longer front hair, but she's got a ponytail thing in the back, and it's hard to see from these images because these are all from the front. Yeah, she's got this kind of ponytail thing. She's a good character. I like her a lot. I think she's a good addition. She's just some kind of low-level criminal that's just trying to make her way into like the criminal world of Star Wars. Yeah, I don't think there's a hairstyle like this. So, get a couple things with buns out here. She's pretty cool. She has a little pet that I'm not going to be able to replicate in here. At least I don't think. That one may be pretty good. That's Rey's hair, I think. She has more hair in front than anything. This may actually be better, because her hair kind of has a 70s throwback. Ironically, I think that's Kira's hair, and she's in this. Oh, that's pretty good. I think that may be too long, but we'll try it. Yeah, so it's a sneaking around type game. It's a stealth game. Not always, and sometimes you get in firefights, and sometimes you have to track things down, and sometimes there's like some puzzle aspects to it, but not a ton. You're basically walking and taking your speeder and taking your ship to different planets and different areas of those planets, trying to find stolen goods, trying to find treasure, trying to find vaults, trying to find hidden things, trying to infiltrate areas and steal whatever's in there. There's a lot of like crawling through vents and hiding from people. And your little pet, I don't think your little pet's name is Nyx, and Nyx is actually kind of a neat aspect of the game. He's this little cat-sized axolotl, right? And he's super adorable. I'm gonna go ahead and open my beverage. This is the last of the Blue Owl lime pie, Tahitian lime pie. Now that it's been a minute or two. Ooh, I think that went a little weird. So it's somewhat linear, but also open world. Is there like a main quest? There is a main quest, and it'll list it when you open up your journal. It's got it listed as main quest, side quest, jobs, intel. You get secret. You can get top intel or something like that, and then regular intel, and then something else. There's like 6 different kind of layers of. You can go do any of these you want. If you stick to the main story, it's just going to send you on different jobs every time. But it's like, go meet this person, then go see what this person wants you to do. And this person will help you, but you have to go do a job for them or steal this thing or go find where they put this thing or go rescue somebody, right? So it has you do different things all the way around. But yeah, so there is a main story. And I'm not quite sure what it is other than you're just trying to escape this bad guy. You're trying to get... at one point, you've got a death mark on your head. And I think the end game is getting your death mark released or killing the bad guy. That's probably where it comes down to. There's no boss fights. There's no, you don't get to fight Jedi or anything like that. You just go from city to city and you just talk to people and you're like, I want to buy that. I want to get this new shirt. I want to buy this new part for my bike or for my blaster or for my speeder. And then I'm going to upgrade all those and I'm going to go do this other job and hope that I don't get shot at. And if I get shot at, I hope I can firefight my way out of it. In some cases, it's fine to have a firefight. In other cases, if you do, they can sound alarms and you're caught and then you have to start over. You have to start your whole thing over. So it's best to run away in those cases and find a vent to hide in or find a corner where they can't find you and just hope that they give up because they'll eventually give up. They get bored of looking. The AI is not the best I've ever seen. So anyway, I think the ship is pretty cool. It's pretty basic, but I like it. The space stuff is fine when you're flying in space to go to different... it's fairly simple. You go different areas and you can just hit triangle and it gets whatever treasure you need and you fight other starfighters and, it's not super complicated. There's a lot going on, but it's not super complicated. The things that bother me are, because I will say it's not a perfect game at all. There's good parts, right? The voice acting is really good. The music's really good. The details in some of the areas are very, very good. But at the same time, the way they talk, it almost doesn't look like they're talking. Like, this feels like a game from 10 years ago, right? The way their faces and mouths move and stuff. I'm like, I don't believe you're actually saying anything. The critter is a good companion. You can send him to go fetch things. You can send him to distract other people so that you can sneak around. He can attack people. So like you send him to attack somebody and they get distracted, then you can come up and attack them. He will steal things off people for you. He will activate things so he can open doors. He can trigger explosions, all kinds of stuff. So I don't think there's an axolotl in here. I don't think... Does Lego even have an axolotl? Axolotl. I don't think so. So if they ever do a set, they'd have to make a new mold for this, because it looks like they may have one. Yeah. So I don't know how I'd be able to do this, but I do think this would be one that should come with it if they ever make a ship out of this. All right, so she's basic. She's a basic person. She's got a cool jacket. I'm gonna give her this hair. I think that's probably the best. She's got like a 70s thing going on, but I don't think Lego has that hairstyle, at least not in studio. Let's take another once over, because she's got like her hair in front of her face. I don't think it's that severe. She's got like bangs, but she's got like curly hair. It's almost like that. That's, what's her name? Pelly's. Oh, that's perfect. I'm not even gonna look at the back of that. That's perfect. Yeah. But it's got this weird, she's got this beard, this like bun in the back that I'm just, when I do the render, I'm just not going to show the back of her head. So, I'm still playing it. I'm probably about 15, 20 hours in. And I think you could probably run through the entirety of the story I've heard in about 15 hours, maybe 20. Not doing any side quests, not doing any jobs, just getting through the main story. And it's possible to do that. So, it's like sand blonde. Don't need this on now. It's not, let's do dark tan. And we'll do nougat, medium nougat. It's medium tan. Where's medium nougat? Dark nougat. Is medium nougat not a color? Oh, just nougat. That's good. Okay, why is this not working? This is gonna make me like put a head in this hair. Oh, is this a friend's hair? No, it says minifig. So yeah, so I've been playing this game and it's okay. Like I said, I wasn't ever really an Assassin's Creed fan, so I'm a little kind of upset at all the sneaking around I gotta do. Why is this not? There we go. Wow. Perfect. And I'm not a huge fan of like curating it's a reputation game. So you've got to, within the factions, you have to build up your reputation with all the other oh, that's perfect. Except it's got a piece of yellow on it. Is it the head that doesn't like anything? Wow, what is going on? There was a software update and now nothing is clicking into place. Snap. Snap doesn't work. Snap can't be turned on and off. All right, I'm gonna restart real quick. Yeah, I just did an update before this. Everything is not awesome. That is right. Let's see. So, while I'm doing this, the trail. I always don't know what to call ships. Like, is it the Trailblazer or is it just Trailblazer? Is it Millennium Falcon or the Millennium Falcon? So anyway, the submarine sub sandwich parts have all been ordered. I went through about 3 or 4 different stores on Bricklink telling me that your lot size was too small, your lot minimum was not met, your average price per lot was not met, your lot size was too big. And I'm like, this is terrible. Okay, what the heck? Wow. So no heads are clicking onto any torsos. What in God's green earth? Are other bricks not working? I gotta turn this all back. Yeah, that works. All right, so this is just going to be a problem until I get the figure made. Somebody tag Bricklink in on Instagram and tell them their latest update. None of the minifigure parts work. So all the sub parts are on their way. They should be here within a week, probably. And then we'll have a stream where I put the whole thing together. And that'll be fun. Let's get some prints on here. Because she's got stuff on her arm. She rolls up her sleeves too, but I don't think I'm going to be that lucky. And it looks like there's a couple things that are printed. Yikes. Some loud music. Okay, that works. Okay, that's fine. Oonce, oonce, oonce. It's that kind of night. I've been binging West Wing. The Rings of Power show is back on. Last week they had the first. She doesn't have gloves either. She's got just regular hands, which is kind of nice. And then I think she's got. She doesn't need. I forget what kind of pants she has. Just brown. She's got boots. So let's see if we can do legs, boots. I, for one, am enjoying Rings of Power. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. There's a lot of people who are very upset about the liberties with the let's do that. That's pretty cool. Maybe just brown. But I like it. I'm enjoying watching it. I don't think it's this season, especially. I don't feel like it's slow. I don't feel like it's. Oh, somebody's already done a brickhead. That's pretty rad. Yeah, let's do black boots instead. That way I can have brown pants and just be done with it. Cool. Perfect. And she does have a pistol that you can customize, so I want to make sure that we can get her a... Actually, it looks kind of like this, so that's good. And we'll color it silver. Flat silver. All right, cool. Oh, of course. Yeah, so I'm enjoying the Rings of Power. The 4th episode was on today, and or maybe last night, but whatever, it was on. And I'm having a good time with it. I like it a lot. Like I said, I don't feel like it moves slow or anything. Release. At least it doesn't to me. I know a lot of people will probably like, it's garbage. Like, and I know those people because it won't let me rotate it when it's released. Terrible. I feel like the software is getting worse. Okay, well, now that that's done, now that that took a half hour. Yeah, there's little bits of stuff that I'm just like, every update, I'm like, what? Now that sucks. So, back to the ship. The ship itself is very regular, flat. There's not a whole lot to it. So we should be able to get a pretty good... Yeah, and that's your speeder. You can upgrade it and stuff and put stuff on it. It's pretty fun. And there's all kinds of other shops. There's actually like mini games that you can do. You can play Sabacc. Yeah, it is getting worse because Lego owns it now. I wouldn't be surprised if they are like really tweaking on it. The whole replacing old parts thing, that has Lego written all over it. So the game has, you can play Sabacc, which is actually part of the plot. You have a person who sells you information or gives you information, and then you go do a job. And one of the missions is to go play some high rollers at Sabacc. And so you have to have enough credits to buy in, and the game is fairly simple. It's basically blackjack, right? You only get 2 cards, and you keep trying to get the best of those 2 cards, right? And there's only 6 numbers, and there's only 2 suits, basically. And your best hand is to get the lowest number you can. And if you get matching suits, you don't have a difference between the 2. So if I got, it's sand and blood are the 2 suits. So if you get a 1 in sand and a 2 in blood, your difference is 1. So you owe 1. You basically are taxed 1. If you've got 1 and 1 in each, you're not taxed anything. And that's a Sabacc. There's other cards in there that are a Psylop, which is like a wild card. And then a imposter, which makes you roll some dice, right? So you can have a 1 and then an imposter and roll some dice and maybe and the dice have the suits on them. So you can get a matching suit, and that's an imposter Sabacc. Or if you have that wild card, it's a Psylop Sabacc. So basically also if Johnny and I are playing and he gets a 3 Sabacc and I get a 1 Sabacc, I win. It's the lowest you can get. You want the lowest number of points and the lowest card number. It's fun. Like it's easy. It takes just a couple minutes for each game, right? You play 3 rounds. or you play, each hand is, you take 3 turns and then you just go until you're the last one. So it's not too bad. Then there's lock picking. You have a lock pick in your hair, right? And it's not a slicer. It's basically like a scomp, like what droids use, right? But it's for lock picking, and all the locks across the universe are the same, right? So you just have to do this. But it's time it with the beat, so it goes back and forth, right? So it'll maybe go like beep, 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 and so you have to hit it, beep, beep, like that, and you have to match it to get it to unlock. So this is going to be, let's just say a 4 wide. It's going to be pretty wide. It's a pretty fat boy. It almost looks like a squat Battlestar Galactica. But see what that cockpit, that reminds me of like Aliens. They're a drop ship in Aliens. The engines kind of rotate out too when you're going faster. So that's kind of cool. It's got a very, feels like Voyager or something. So let's just do a 4x6 to start. 4x6 plate. So what does everybody else got going on? I know there's storms across the country right now. I know there's football starting up. I think it's preseason, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, we gotta put you in a group. But I know a lot of people like football, so that started up. Okay, so this may be a pretty easy one to do, but I want to make it look nice. I think it has like these kind of edges on it. So it's got kind of viewing areas on both of them. It's a pretty good look at it. Oh, that's a good image right there. You do get chased by TIE fighters. You also get chased by pirates. You have shields. You can upgrade your ship so your shields are better, your engines are faster, your blasters work better. You got better scanners, that kind of thing. It is pretty... I think that's the turret up top. I'm not really sure. There is... just got home, so relaxing, no building. Cool. It is... You mean the spaceship stuff? It's mostly just going to a place and going to a point on a map and hitting triangle to pick something up. But then, like, at least so far, for me, you have to go to a waypoint and just kind of wait, and then there's some dialogue, and then you go to another waypoint and wait, and there's some dialogue, and then suddenly you're in violation of something, so you got to evade some TIE fighters. And you can either fight or flee. Like, you can get the heck out of Dodge and hit hyperspace and go wherever you want. Or you can duke it out with them, you know. And I've done both, and I don't like... The problem I'm running into with the duking it out in most cases, either on your ship or in person with just your person, is that I don't feel like there's stakes. Like... I haven't died doing spaceship stuff yet, and I'm constantly dying when it's just me on the ground, but I just go back to a checkpoint, right? There's no stakes like, well, and you've also lost this quest item, or now because you got caught doing this, now the Pikes don't like you as much. And that's what I thought was going to happen, was like you got busted, and now you can't go back in there, so now that avenue is closed off to you. You know, it's like, you just try it again. You know, well, now I know not to walk that way. I walk a different way. So it's... I know it's trying not to punish everybody all the time, but like I said, I didn't play enough of what's it called? Assassin's Creed to like really appreciate the stealthy stuff and getting a mission done and all that kind of thing. So that's going to be a little low. They do. You can choose. It'll give you choices every once in a while. Like the most recent one I have was you found some information, or no, you found some cargo. Somebody said go pick up this cargo. So you go to this place, you get it, you bring it back to a different city on a different planet, and you go to that city and there's like a cargo drop area, and you drop off the cargo, and somebody calls you and says, "Hey, I got a tip on this cargo that you just dropped off. It'd be interesting if we told this other faction about it." And you're like, "Oh, okay." So now you have the option of just like reporting that the cargo's there or not, and just calling it in to the person who's supposed to come pick it up, right? So you do get a choice in some cases, and those choices will then tip the scales. Like you reported it to the Pikes. Now the Pikes like you more, but Crimson Dawn doesn't because you've basically ratted them out. So your allegiances are constantly shifting depending on what jobs you're doing. And what that does, so there are some consequences. Being in the good graces of a syndicate will allow you to, I'm trying to think if I want these to be slopes. See if these are too small. Being in good graces with a syndicate will allow you to go into different areas and shops and things like that. And the shops in those areas will give you discounts on things. The people who are kind of moping around those areas, the criminals, will give you jobs. I think I want to do 3, and then I'll do and it will also mean that in areas where you're not in the good graces, so there's bad, poor, or poor, bad, something like that, good, excellent. And if you're good and above, you can freely walk through their area and nobody will bat an eye. If you're in poor or bad, you have to sneak around that area because they don't want you there and they'll try to kill you. That includes like being out in the wide open areas on your speeder bike. There are certain controlled areas, and if you speeder bike through them, there's guys on speeder bikes that'll chase after you and shoot at you. And that's the one part of the game that I'm really having a problem with. There is a... Oh, is that a... That doesn't look like it's the official one. None of these look like official ships. There is... when you're on your speeder bike, you can shoot at people only if you use this special move. There's a special move where you hit both, you press down both your joysticks, and it brings up like a Red Dead Redemption where you kind of go into slow-mo and you can mark targets, and then it goes back into regular motion, it goes blap, 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 right? Which is great when you're fighting a bunch of people, like in a cargo bay or something like that. When you're zipping along and there's only 2 speeder bikes after you, you can't do it. Like, it doesn't let you do any fewer than... It actually, as far as I know, will only let you do 3 shots. So maximum and minimum of 3. So if you want to fire at these guys, if they're shooting at you and you want to shoot back, you either have to get all 3 of them in front of you. And if there's fewer than 3, you have to get off your bike, wait for them to get off their bike, and then start shooting at them. So it's a little annoying. Or you can just outrun them. You got a boost and you can just take off. The speeder bikes go entirely too fast, and if you run into something, you get ejected off your bike and it takes a piece of health off of you. And it's just going like this, right? So you're just ripping through this area and suddenly you run into something, you just get flown off, and you're like... And there's no reverse, so then you gotta like sit there and turn your bike very slowly to get away from this rock, and it's not designed super well. I'm gonna play it until like at least the main story's done. I really doubt I'm gonna go back and play this game ever, and I'm a little pissed because I paid $70 for it. But it's definitely not. It feels like a AAA game from maybe 10 years ago, right? It's like, there have been other AAA open world games that have come along. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I'm going to do slope. Like, I don't know. It feels like Breath of the Wild, Forbidden West, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Forbidden West. I don't know of any other open world games. Ghost of Tsushima. All great open world games. And they're literally open world games. Like, you can go everywhere. There's parts of this game where it's a path. You get, like, it's all open world. You can kind of go wherever you want. But when you get to a certain area, it's like a tunnel and you can only go a certain path. And that's fine. You know, you're like in a wreck of a old, they said High Republic cruiser. They didn't even say Clone Wars cruiser. They're like, this is an old High Republic cruiser. I'm like, dang, that's like 500 years old. And you kind of have to wind your way through it to get to the bridge. And it's kind of like Fallen Order, where there's really only one path to get to where you're going. So that's a little, and sometimes there's caves like that and mountain passes like that, where there's maybe two ways to get to a certain point, and then there's only one way in, and then there may be 2 or 3 ways to sneak around in the back. So it's fine. And like I said, I'll play it until the main quest is done. But that doesn't look right either. But I don't know. This is going to be a hard shape to do. This shape right here. It's a very big image. Don't think so. This shape right here is going to be hard to do. It's a little higher than the rest of the ship. It's a weird angle coming off this thing here. This is where your landing gear comes out of. And right here. Because it's curved down, it's angled in, and then it's got 2 angles like this. And then it's also curved, and then it's got a dip in the front. It kind of goes back on itself in the front. So I'm going to do my best, but there's going to be... What is this piece? Oh, it's one of those. Okay. I was like, dang. Probably... Oh, they do have them in gray. Well, that's interesting. Maybe I'll use these. Could I use those anywhere? Yeah, probably. Actually, yeah, I could use those quite well. And then curved slopes. Could put these on it, next to it, like that. Yeah, that's good. Jedi Fallen Order is a much better game. Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi... Survivor is the other one. Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order. There's a mosquito in here, and it already bit my hand. Much better games. Much better. Much better. Yes, they're combat oriented. Yes, you are a little more... It's not as open world. It's a little more linear in some cases. The open world stuff doesn't really foster a lot of exploration. This does foster a little bit of exploration. Like, you can just tool around outside the cities. And even in the cities, you can just kind of wander around and look for stuff. It's like, oh, there's a sabacc game over here. Oh, here's a merchant. There's places you can go eat. That's actually pretty cool. I know it sounds dorky, but there's times where you can go sit at a restaurant and you can order something, and you have to make the controls work for you and your pet to eat the food, right? It sounds dumb. You're just hitting buttons to watch them eat, but it feels like it adds a little more to the kind of the world building. And every time you do that, you get a little treat for your pet, and that helps him do certain things. Like, it lets him help deflect grenades, or it extends the range of him going and distracting people, or stuff like that. So it's worth doing. And the shops are all different. There's like weapon shops and clothing shops and places to fix up your bike, and places to fix up your ship. So wandering around the towns is pretty fun. And there's secret areas you can go to get stuff for your pet. Little shapes and things, and those help out. Is that too high? Maybe. So there are parts that are good. I'm just running into all the parts that I don't like. And that makes it not as fun, I think, as it could be. So kind of want to just do slopes. Of course, if I really wanted to, I'd just go back and play Forbidden West. I'm not quite done with that one. That's not what I want at all. So this may not be what I want either. This looks more like one of these pieces. But it has to be kind of clear, or at least black. And then underneath, it can just be... That'd be cool if they made these clear. Trans-colored. Don't think they have any of those, do they? No. So we're going to do black. Kind of want it to be, like, if I just did it this big, it would be a Microfighter. It'd be so small. I want it to be a little beefier than that. I have an idea. This never works. I don't know why. I don't know why I do this to myself every time, but it never works. Okay, that works if I could just make it fit. Figure out how to make that fit. Because that's a perfect shape. It's exactly what I want. Why is that not? Oh. Because that. It's still not. It's weird that I wanted to go a little bit ahead like that. Oh, maybe it's supposed to. I don't know. Anywho, so I may go play a level of it after this. I may go watch a West Wing. I may go read. Don't know. I think if another game came along like right now, I'd probably drop this game to go play it. Maybe this needs to be 6 wide. I don't know. It seems to be all right. It still has like, I still have a little bit back here to do. But I was kind of hoping to make it, I keep doing that, a little more stout. But if you get the right shapes on it, I guess what does it matter, right? Just have to make those work. Sometimes the fishing reels work. Don't know about this case though. I think somebody's already got a actual version of this built too, which is kind of cool. I saw them working on it on YouTube or TikTok or something, and it looked pretty rad. They already had the engine set up and everything, because I think it'd be a fun one to do the insides of it. Yeah, and the game came out 5 days ago, so I mean, and I think people have seen images of it ahead of time, so they've probably had a bit of heads up to get a good idea of what it looked like. So, and that sometimes happens. God, it doesn't matter what the math is on these guys. It's always bad. I mean, that still doesn't look terrible. Let's do both of them. Yeah, I guess that's all right. It leaves a gap right there. But then I can do... Oh, will that work? See, and again, these things are... Oh no, that's not attached to anything. Okay. So in order to get that to attach to something, probably need to be up a little higher right there. And then have that on a plate like this. Just make sure that attaches okay. And then another plate. And then a slope. Now we can do this slope. Yeah, it's not great. There's just really no capturing that shape at that size. I think it's a pretty good attempt. Let's just roll with it for now. That's all attached. That's good. This is nice because I can see the underside of it, and it is flat. There's nothing in there. I want to make this greebly in here, so the best way to do that is probably... Oh, so Lego news wise, the 3rd, September 3rd, technically saw the release of... What is it? Don't tell me. Was it the tree? Yeah, the not 2-in-1 tree. Oh, also the Weasley's house. Oh, and the Nightmare Before Christmas. This one I will get. I should have probably already ordered it because I have a feeling it's going to be gone. In fact, I bet you if we looked up right now, it's probably gone. Because this was, you could get early access on the 1st if you wanted it. And then it was going to come out for regular. Really? Since when did Lego start doing that? Ugh. Multi-factor authentication is my bane. Hate it so much. But it was a very popular set, and I wouldn't doubt it if it was already sold out. Alright, thanks for taking me to the page that I tried to go to. I don't want insiders. Oh, still there. $200 though, that's quite a bit. But it's 2,100 pieces and a licensed set. And the Jack Skellington's got the tall legs. That's pretty cool. Lock, Stock, and Barrel have the short legs. Sally's a regular figure. The Zero Dog is really rad. The Mayor's a good figure. And it looks like it's got a little bit of playability. Like, it's not just the design, although the design's really neat. It's 3 different kind of things that kind of look like they may go together. Or are they individually... Because it looks like they could kind of be kind of put together. So yeah. It doesn't look terribly large, but I mean... it looks good. This is one that I probably will get, but again... The Deku tree. Deku. Don't know what that is. Dungeons and Dragons figures, I'm not getting that. Not getting anything Harry Potter. Boo, Harry Potter. But that house, the Burrow house, is really nice. I like it. It looks good. Oh, advent calendars are out. Yeah, I'll probably grab one of those. Seasonal Christmas Halloween sets already. These look like mostly Christmas. What is that? Okay, just a house. Halloween barn. All right. Interesting. So very light for September. So yeah. Probably gonna need to... No, I don't want that far out. I just want it to be greebly. I hate to do more brackets on here, but... Let's do this guy. Okay, why won't you work? Oh. Okay, so I need another plate in there. Okay. Ooh, almost could do that. And I could raise that whole thing up. Yeah, the Nightmare one's pretty cool. I think even like my oldest might get that. They like Nightmare Before Christmas. I like it. I might get it. But again, trying to save a little money. That doesn't look good at all. Okay. So maybe just leave that. And do, make that dark gray. And do a grill. I'm also glad that this is going to be replaced pretty soon. This is an A and a B. They haven't replaced. This is weird. These are pretty common parts. I'm surprised that Bricklink hasn't fixed these yet. Okay. So that's pretty good. I think that works. Let's do this. Just copy all this and mirror it. Oh, that won't work, will it? Five oh 9 6 4 5. This is wedge right. These are relatively new pieces too, so that's kind of fun to play with a little bit. And they do come in gray. Apparently, which one of these doesn't come in blue-gray? The old one. Okay, well, figures. All right, cool. Save. Yeah, this isn't going to be a super hard one to do. So we may get done with it tonight. I don't know. Because then underneath here, what'll be fun is inverted tile. I think I've got some of these coming from Lug Bulk. These would be great pieces to put in here. Just like that. Maybe even another one back here. Let's do one like that. Cool. I'm getting too good at doing these. It just doesn't take long at all anymore to do them. Which is why I'm glad that we're... So I'm also going to start doing something, and I think I talked about this a little bit. I want to start doing, and I may have to pick y'all's brains. Got to put the ubiquitous Microfighter windshield thing up here too, right? I am going to build, and I've got it kind of mapped out in my head. I want to do for the I think we talked about this a little bit. I want to do a windmill and a lighthouse for our steampunk project, and I want it to both rotate and light up. So what I'm going to do for the lighthouse is I'm going to replicate the mechanism at the top of the lighthouse. What's up, Rick Bricks? How's it going? Yes, you are new. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing well. How are you? Happy Thursday. We're doing Lego stuff. I'm assuming you're here because you like Lego. What's your preferred Lego theme set? What's the latest thing you bought or built, or what are you working on right now? Also, how you doing? So this is the ship from Outlaw, Star Wars Outlaw. We're going to do as a Microfighter, so that's what it's working on. So Star Wars is your favorite set, cool, or theme, cool. Mine to the most part. It used to be mine. I've drifted away a little bit from it, and now I'm big into like space stuff, and the botanicals are pretty good. I like the part usage on those. But I will always get a Star Wars ship. We just built this like last week. So always down for some Star Wars building. We built this one a couple weeks ago. This is Thrawn on a heavy cruiser. It's not a Carrot class. It's a Dreadnought class heavy cruiser. So we'll build these occasionally. This will represent like number 70, something that I got built. So yeah, it's all over the place with this. When I get the parts, I'm building a submarine sub sandwich for a local sub chain here in Austin. So that'll be fun. And then I got some botanicals to build at some point. So welcome aboard. I hope you have subscribed, and we'll see you back occasionally. So do you have this gunship? Do you? Oh, the red one. Yeah. That was very popular. This doesn't look like it has a whole lot over the engines either. Keep bringing that up. Get rid of that. Do I have that one open anywhere? Let's open that one. This one's got a good image on it. There we go. Nice little photorealism thing here. Looks like it's got a little bit of a fin over these engines. The engines also go in and out. So I'm going to automatically use these. Maybe these. We'll see. But definitely at least these for the engines. And the top one's a little bigger than the bottom one. So we'll do a round and then a cone. So we'll do one round and then one cone. To offset them. Oh, take care. Yeah, I'm back on Sunday, 10 a.m. my time, which might be a little better for you. It might be like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. If it's 3 a.m. there now. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate the sub, and we'll talk to you soon. I don't think those, but maybe. But maybe. I don't think these come in the color I want them to, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'll just use these. The reason I'm doing this is because they can rotate, and I'll put something over here, like a bar or something that they can open up and rotate on. Because they do open up. You can see right here, they're kind of collapsed. And then here they're a little opened up. And then the faster you go, There's a good shot of that anywhere. So they're kind of opening it up here a little bit. They will open all the way up. Like when you hit hyperspace, it'll... Hyperspace is pretty cool, actually, in the game. I will give them that. Like, you can fly around, and you can hit hyperspace, and it'll kind of pause the game. So it'll give you the... It'll bring up an option to pick where you want to go. So if you're in the middle of a firefight, as long as you have the coordinates where you need to go, they're kind of already in the system. You don't have to kind of, like, wait for it. Like, I know there's missions on other Star Wars games where you're like, well, we just left the planet. We got to wait for the hyperspace coordinates, and you got to, like, survive. But this one's very much like you hit the hyperspace button on your D-pad, and it says which planet do you want to go to. And then you just hit both joysticks forward, and it takes off. And while you're in hyperspace, there's usually a bit of chatter, and then you come out of it. The other thing I don't like about the game is it's the leaving the planet and the returning to the planet is not No Man's Sky. It is not seamless. It's basically a little cutscene. It feels like a non-cutscene, but the other problem is every time you take off, there's clouds. Bright sunny day, you take off, you fly up, and you're saying, all right, we're leaving orbit, or we're leaving the planet. Suddenly there's clouds. There's all this magic fog that you got to fly through so it can transition into space. And I'm like, oh, that's so cheap. Like, it feels cheap to do that, you know? So that's another thing. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought, like, this was going to be kind of No Man's Sky-ish where I could kind of do whatever I wanted to, but not really. To be fair, I really gave up on No Man's Sky. Like, I played the majority of it. Of the these come in gray, I think. Yeah. Those don't. What are these? These don't come in gray? I thought they did. Oh, bummer deal. Well, here goes that. But I will do this. What was I talking about? Oh, No Man's Sky. Like, the idea of the game wasn't a big story. I don't know if you've played it, but the idea of it was not to be a big, like, 60 mission long story or 60-hour long main story. You're basically figuring out how to go do all this stuff on your own so that you can go do all this stuff on your own when the main story's done. And then you just interact throughout the galaxy. And there's different things that you can do, and there's different ways that you can survive, and you can build up a base, and you can build up different locations, and you can meet new things, and you can do all this stuff. But like once the main sort of like you've discovered everything there is, and the mystery that evolved from it, once that's done, I'm kind of like, I don't care. I hate these little fins on engines that I can never do. I can never do the fins. The best I can do sometimes is a roller skate, but I can't really attach that. But what I did like about it was the ability to go anywhere. You could go anywhere and do anything you wanted. Literally, like there was no holding back on any of it. That's okay. Yeah, the engines could be bigger than that. Color that one dark, just in case. That's pretty good, yeah. You know, you've got your ship, you've got a rover. I think you had a little hover car at some point, but you at least had a rover, and then you had a jetpack. The jetpack didn't last all that long, but you could. And the problem with the jetpack is it mostly went up like this. It didn't take you across the ground like that. It went up, right? It's because there's some areas that are like caves and you have to be able to get out of them. So it went pretty much straight up. I'm going to do tiles, round tiles. I'm hoping this isn't too big. Oh, this skate needs to be like silver or something. Flat silver. Yeah. But yeah, you could find a planet. As long as a planet was hospitable, you could get out of your ship, call a... That may be a little big. Let me get rid of these things. You could build a buggy, and you could just kind of drive around the whole... Yeah, it's a little big. Drive around the whole planet, right? You had to make sure that, like, there were things about radiation. You had to make sure that you have enough of this. It's basically a survival game. You had to make sure you had enough mineral to do all these things. Minerals, plants, compounds of all kinds, pieces of technology. And you just kind of build up and build up and build up. And after a while, I'm like, I can feel me not caring about how much of this I have. Like, I get to a point where I'm like, it's too much to take care of. Like, I don't mind following a story and doing tasks, but like when it's like, get one little thing to do one little thing to do another little thing to do another little thing, and it doesn't feel like you're really going anywhere. You know, the whole idea of taking off and being able to blast away in a different part of the galaxy kind of loses its luster. All right, I still like this, but I think I may get rid of these guys. And I might put this guy... I don't know, those are pretty cool. I don't know, that doesn't seem too big. Let me see how to attach it, and then we'll figure it out. I think it goes back here a little bit, though. It goes like that. Basically the same view. I need a better view. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's do... But what I really appreciated about it is you can walk around, you can do all this stuff, and then you can go get in your ship and you can take off and you can just fly over wherever you want to go. And then you can break orbit. And then once you break atmosphere, you're in orbit. And then once you break orbit, you can go to asteroid belts, or you can go to different planets in the system. And you can use your jump drive, or you can use hyperdrive, right? And jump drive is just like a super fast, get you from one planet to another really quickly. And then hyperdrive is like get you from one system to another. And both of those components require different fuels, and you have to make sure you can mine all that. And after a while, you're like, oh God, I get it. Fine, whatever. Oh, this is the other thing. Okay, so this has to be replaced. This can be that color. This needs to be flipped. Oh, man. And if that's flipped, they're all flipped. Yeah, so comparatively, in this game, you can take your speeder bike and you can ride all the way around the planet you want. And you can go anywhere on the planet. You could get caught and shot at, but you can go anywhere you want on the planet that there's a map for, right? Once you get to the edge of the map, it says you can't go any farther than this, but you can go anywhere on the map. And then you can go back to the spaceport, wherever your spaceship is, and you can drive your speeder bike up into your spaceship, get off, go get in the cockpit, and then blast off, and then go to a different planet. The problem is, as soon as you sit down, it's all cutscene. It's a little bitty cutscene, and then it takes off, and you fly up, and you fly through some clouds, and then you're in space. And then you can control your spaceship again. So in between taking off and being in space, there's no control. So it's not really open world, but it's, you know... This is small enough. Maybe I'll just put it back here. And have this guy flipped around. Like that. And where was this again? Oh, my oldest child is watching West Wing. So let's put this guy, let's attach him right here. And yeah, he'll need to be a little higher than that, right? Yes. He needs to be at least one. I think, and I think, can't even talk now. Nope. No Man's Sky is the only one that really does that. I think Star Citizen had a thing where they did that. And then I can cover this with a bit of stuff. Does that go over the whole thing or just where's the top? I need to see the top. This isn't, that's not official. They're just making stuff up. Like, I want the shots from the game. I don't want shots from like other people making the ship on their own. That might be good, but it's hard to tell. Oh, the engines are different things. Okay. Oh, here we go. That's pretty good. Oh, that's great. That's a nice big shot of that back there. And it looks like this is divided, so I could put a thing here. And then have the ramp come back to meet it. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. So we'll do 1x4s. Actually, I could probably get rid of this. And do another... let's do... Sunwoo Lee, how are you? Thank you for being on the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. We are working on the Trailblazer from Star Wars Outlaws, sorry. How is your Thursday evening, I'm assuming? I don't know where you are in the world. Sun W-O, not Sunwoo. Sunwo. So I can probably angle this. So this is what I don't like. It won't give me that hinge thing anymore. Sun-oo. Sun-oo. So if I wanted to move this in... Why won't it let me do that? I don't understand. Am I clicking on the wrong things? Why is it not allowing me to twist things anymore? What Lego sets are you into? What Lego mocks are you building? What's your favorite set? I'll steal from Johnny here. What'd you have for dinner? So I absolutely am at a loss for how I can't rotate something now. This is absolute garbage. You have a Lego Thomas the Tank Engine. Neat. Would you like to see a friend of mine's Thomas the Tank Engine? He calls it a cursed build. I think it's the best thing he's ever done. I also think it's one of the best things I've ever seen. Is it a Thomas the Tank Engine? Like, was it a mock that you made? I don't think they ever did like an official set, right? I think everybody's kind of done their own thing, right? Yeah, there's an ideas. I know there's ideas sets for it. All right, so I'm gonna find Kodiak's cursed build. Hey, Chris, how's it going? It's my buddy Chris, everybody. 1 second, Chris. I'll get to you presently. This is our buddy Kodiak, who's been on stream before while we're designing stuff together. Oh, it's not in there. He does animation. There it goes. Okay, so it's in there. He does a lot of animation. He does a lot of instructions. He does a lot of stop motion stuff with Lego. Aha, here it is. This is his Thomas the Tank Engine with spider legs. I'm going to try to get an unanimated version of that somewhere. He thinks it's terrible. We all think it's hilarious and brilliant. I'm loving the way he's doing like all this stuff on his page, like curating the page. The images and stuff. There it is. Yeah, creepy Thomas the Tank Engine spider. So he was like, "Are you sure?" Because when we were first like talking and hanging out, he's like, "I can't show you this. It's evil." And so he showed me. I'm like, "That's brilliant, dude. That is so amazing." So Wooden Toby has mocks. Wooden Toby, is that a builder? Wooden Toby. Let's look up Wooden Toby. Chris, I'm basically building Toby Woodenhill. It's coffee. Oh, on YouTube. Okay. Let's check it out. We are building, Chris, a Microfighter of the hero ship from Star Wars Outlaws, the Trailblazer. If you haven't played the game, this is the ship you tool around in. It's a pretty basic light freighter. It gets you there. It's got its couple guns. It's got a shield. It's got a hyperdrive. It's got storage. That's what you need. What we're looking up. Wooden Toby. Yeah, it came out 5 days ago. Wooden Toby. Oh, there you go. Oh, he's got a lot of them. Well, I'm going to mute that. Yeah, nice. On Rebrickable, too. Let's check it out. Cool. These are great. How great. Very cool. I'm assuming he does the custom prints on his own and everything. Custom stickers. Nice. That's very cool. I like it. Good stuff. Nice. I like when this feels like stuff that I do, because this is like, you find something that's got a lot in it, like a lot of different things. Like there's a ton of trains you can do from the show and from the stories and everything. So it's very similar to, where is it? To all my stuff, where you got a lot of little microfighters, right? That's all you got. There's just so many Star Wars ships you can do. So that's what we're working on now. So that's cool. But yeah, this is the basic ship. Yes, Chris, visiting Billund is on my bucket list. My issue, and I think she's in earshot. Are you up, Beth? She was. I heard the kitchen rattling around. Is convincing the partner that it'd be a good thing to do. For a while, there was talk, because I had applied to Lego, and we're going to do a 5. 1 by 5. All right. Lego was looking for product designers, and I was like, I'm going to apply. And she said, all right, cool. She's like, what if you got the job? I was like, I would take the job. She's like, what would we do? And I'm like, I would move to Billund. She's like, what would I do? And I'm like, move to Billund with me? She's like, but what would I do when I'm there? So we looked at social work jobs in Denmark. Hang on one sec. Road trip with Brendan. Oh, cool. And we looked up social work jobs for working in Denmark, in Copenhagen probably because it's a capital. Billund maybe because it was a part of the actually, you know what? I am going to do 4. Part of the corporate, being part of Lego corporate. If they needed social work, or if they needed any sort of like human resources kind of thing with the company, any kind of stuff like that. Turns out, because the Danish take care of their people, they don't require social workers. It's a whole different system they got there. And it's one of these things where you probably need to speak Danish, and she doesn't. So it was kind of like, oh God, what are we going to do? So it was kind of like looking at other jobs that might fit, and it was kind of like, I would honestly feel pretty bad, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm gonna make Lego for a living. But I can't remember. I think I got an interview. Can't remember. Anyway, yeah, going out there is one of my want to do on my list kind of thing. I can't tell what that is. Is that a train? All right, so then we got to get a 4 across here, plate. The other problem with visiting Denmark is we'd have to find a time to do it. I think you can just go there and visit the house, but I think there's special times when you can go for different kinds of tours, and I think you have to apply to get in with those. And I don't want to do that. Kind of wanted it to be on the bottom, but yeah, we'll worry about that later. Oh, that's very kind of you. I think Lego would like to hire somebody probably a little younger and with a little more toy experience. Just because I do this and I've been collecting for 40 years, so have tens of thousands of other people. You know, they need somebody with like, oh, I've worked in the industry, and I know how to go from design to conception, and I know all the processes along the way where you have to get approval and you have to go through certain groups and they have to approve certain things and all the iterative processes and things like that. And they don't want to have to like teach you along the way how to do all that. So I get it. It goes right up against it. So I'm gonna be a little bit modified plate, but I appreciate you saying so. I agree. I think it'd be a great asset. Gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this. See what happened to all my hinge things? All right, so I'm going to save this and restart it because all the hinge options are gone. Like, I can't move any of this. Stupid software. Also, if you don't plan it right, like a time of year, Billund is cold. It's Denmark. It's in a cold area of the world. It's landlocked, but it's kind of... It's not an island, but it's kind of island-ish, right? It's... Anyway. Plus I'm like, hey, baby, we're going to Denmark. Yeah, it's still gone. Oh, my giddy aunt. I need to go backwards, and... There's no way to... Oh, man. Hinge. It's a button now. I want it always on. That could have saved me so much hassle over here. Hinge. You got to turn it on for each thing? No, that's bad. They need to fix that like yesterday. This just needs to always be on. I need to reset that. Yeah, there are such things as jackets. This and this can all go together. Benny's getting upset. Hinge. Oh my god. They've gone backwards. They've gone backwards in the software. It's been progressively getting worse and worse and worse. And I already turned this one on. Hinge. Preferences. Is there like hinge always on? Model. Toolbar. Move tool. Hinge tool. I can't change it either. H. Okay. Maybe we're back. Maybe we're going good again. Okay. That needs to go down like that. So technically this can open up like a little backdoor thing on the back of the ship. So we're good. When we were kids, did they get hand drawn? I don't know. Let me see if I can find something from when we were kids. Here's something from when we were kids. Johnny should recognize this one. Brother, may I have some oats? Okay. So I don't know why I just have this on top of all my instructions over here, but it just happened to be within reach. So I don't think they were... So this would have been... When did this set come out? It says copyright 1987. I think it came out in 86, though. I think I had this on my 12th or 13th birthday. But I'm starving, brother. You can have all the oats you want. I'm not your keeper. They did have photo insets though. So there's a photo inset of what you're building rather than like a smaller inset. Let's do... Oh, my table camera isn't working really well. I was going to do that. Logitech? No. It still doesn't like it. There we go. So it still looks like it's... It doesn't look like it's computer-aided drafting, but it may be... I don't think they were... This is the oldest instruction book I have, because this is the oldest set that I've got an instruction for. Okay. You know what? I'd be very interested to know how this was done. Because it looks like it would be computer generated. But, I mean, this could be... the computers back then weren't powerful enough to even do this, I don't think. In 1987? No. But I don't know, maybe? I have a feeling this was some... probably people had built manual, almost like fonts or typeset or image, not like zip tone, but like they'd built assets with things on them and they could create them by organizing them on the page. I don't think these were hand done. But again, like, I have no idea. I'm a brilliant interviewer. Yeah, CAD wasn't around back then. So I have a feeling these were done just like straight architectural, manually aided drafting. And they were basically like, find the difference. They didn't tell you what pieces they were going to use. You just had to find the difference. Right? Occasionally they'd remind you that a couple pieces here or a couple pieces there, but there's no inset box telling you like use these pieces. There's no outline showing you where the pieces are. It could... I have the Megacore magnetizer set. It's crazy how many like just step, and there's 10 pieces in there. You just got to find them. It's crazy. To give you an idea, this is the 3-in-1 dog set. Pretty recent by comparison. The images look the same. In fact, honestly, the brick images and plate images in there, they look worse. The lines are thicker. It doesn't look as clear as what we were just looking at, but they've added all these call outs to tell you what pieces to use. And in most cases, and they've gone backwards with this, in a lot of cases, what you're building is outlined. But they've gone backwards with that. They've taken away those red outlines. So it's fun to see the evolution of it. LEGO employees used to take pics of the builds at different stages, use the tracing paper on top of the developed photo to draw the outline. Yes! Oh man, that's so great. Which means also because they were all lined up so well, it's the exact same. They must have had such a like, what is it when you're doing filming and you have to get the same camera shot every time? There's a term for that. And I can't think of it. Like when you're doing photo comps and you've got a plate and you take a camera of like you're doing a pan and you've got a plate and then you put something over it and you have to film it the exact same way and the same angle. So that's impressive. They had that locked down. Take a photo, add some pieces, take a photo. That's crazy. Yeah, which makes me think like I would not have wanted to do that. I remember my grandpa being like at an ad agency in the 60s, 70s, something like that. And they had to do all that kind of stuff where that you like manually cut font out and like apply it to whatever you're doing. And, you know, there's a lot of manual painting and manual sticker applying and manual toner and like all this kind of stuff. And there's still a lot of work that needs to go into the making of graphic design and whatnot, but I don't think nearly as much. And you needed so much more lead time, right? I just can't imagine doing that now. That'd be crazy. I think we've lost Sunwoo. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for learning with us. I think I'm going to stick a little greebling thing in here. Let's do another bracket. Let's do one of these brackets. Do these come in that color? It's too much. Okay, let's just do that little bracket. That's getting in the way. Dang it. So, called Panther, they used in the 80s up to 2000 when they replaced it. Early adopter of AutoCAD. Neat. That's cool. My guess is that's like early ray tracing. It would probably just detect like alpha channels. Like it would detect what was dark. So if they're taking photos of it, and then maybe probably using the software to clean up the photos and find the lines and like do wireframing and stuff and craziness. Let's maybe do this and make that gray, because this is going to get in the way, and I do want to use this. Nope, it's still in the way. Is it going to get in the way of this other one too? Yep. Okay, well, let's put all these guys back then. What is that piece? Oh, that's too big. Just realized that guy's not attached too well yet. Hey, Chris, are you doing all the LEGO channels just to reviews? Most of the LEGO channels you're going to run into are of two kinds. They're going to be, well, three kinds. Two and a very small minority third. You're going to find, the reason you find a lot of LEGO channels doing reviews is that, and I don't know how much of this you know, but there are... is this by itself? Yeah. There are several different groups in the LEGO world that interface directly with the LEGO organization. There are lugs, like what Johnny and I are in. Austin, or Tex Lug Austin, and he's in Steel City Lug. And they are groups of people that meet fairly regularly, and they have one representative, an ambassador, that then communicates with LEGO's team that communicates with those groups, right? And they're an ambassador. And so whenever there's news back and forth, they tell the ambassador tells the LEGO group, or their group has complaints or concerns, and we funnel back and forth, right? Then there's also those are called RLUGs, Recognized LEGO User Group. Then there's RFL or RLFMs, Recognized LEGO Fan Media, and those are all the YouTube channels and Instagram channels and TikTok people who review sets. And what happens is every 6 weeks they are sent however many sets they want. Really, they kind of sign up for it. But the sets they get, they have to review over a certain period of time. So over like 3 months. So they have to get it, build it, make a video about it, right? and they can be as honest as they want about the thing. That doesn't come into it. But to be an RFLM, you have to have a certain size media. You have to be certain active. You have to have a certain interactivity with your community, that kind of thing, right? So what happens is there's an embargo date, let's say for this latest, I don't know, the latest Pharrell ship that's going to come out. Nobody can really talk about it until, let's say, October 15th. So on October 15th, what happens is every YouTube channel that has that set and has built it and made a video about it posts it on that day, right? That's why you see a ton of YouTube channels reviewing the same set on the same day, right? Then there's other YouTubers who do the same thing, but they review older sets, and they aren't those fan media people. They just do it themselves. An example of that is this channel called Jang Bricks. He buys sets himself. He does it all himself. He's not in the pocket of Lego. He just buys the sets for himself, and that's all he does. Then there's online communities, our locks, Lego online communities that are like message boards, like Brothers Brick and Euro Bricks, and for a while, not Beyond the Brick, Brick Vault had their own thing going on. So different ones. So a lot of the YouTubers you'll see reviewing the same set all the time is because they do review the same sets all the time. The other ones you see are going to be like mine or Johnny's, for the most part, where we're doing different things. We're building, we're designing, we're just kind of doing our own things, or we're just kind of talking with people. Then the third kind is the panel ones, where there's like a bunch of people and there's usually one host. It's their channel, and they'll have like 5 or 6 people on. And in most cases, it's going to be the same 5 people all the time. But then they'll have like a rotating guest. They'll have like a new person on, and they'll talk to them about stuff. Those I don't like as much. It's good to like hear from the community and stuff in some cases. But it's a lot of, what do you think of this set? What do you think of that set? And that's fine. But in a lot of those, it's just the avatar screen with their logo flashing when they talk, and or their head, and you don't see what they're building. You don't see what they're creating. And I can only hang out with those for a little bit before I'm like, well, nothing's going on here. So those are the kind you run into. And then whatever Sunu is doing. So let's see. This has to be down. This has to be slightly down. I want this to kind of cover these engines, but I don't know how to make it go down. And I think it's all the way or just partial. Hey, Beth, you want to go to Billund?
Sure.
See, she says sure because I'm streaming.
I lost my hearing back again.
Oh, no.
I think I'm just going to call it a loss of this one.
Yeah. Wait, the one that we just put in?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, maybe I didn't screw that thing in the back as well as I could have, but your ear was turning so pink.
Yeah, I think this one is just going to be, just going to call it a day.
Well, you can go back to the place. You can go back to a place and say, hey, could you put this back in for me?
I can't find it back.
Well, or buy a new one while you're there. Will that fit? Oh, just. Huh. Well, this might be interesting. Let's look for a clip. Did you bring a clip? I brought a clip. Let's look at the clip. So Chris, what are you up to? What's your next big video going to be? Who's your next big interview? You just interviewed, who was that guy? I watched about 10 minutes of it, and then I had to do something for work. So for those of you for the one person who doesn't know, I guess Johnny, and you probably already know. Chris has got a very, very good site. comic tropes, and he interviews people, and he does really good exposés and deep dives on histories and stuff. Was it Mike Zeck? That wasn't an interview, though, was it? About what artist thought of Stan Lee's Marvel method? Oh, I had that book. Oh, what one was I thinking about? It was real recent. Maybe it was this one. Christian Comics. And I don't think I watched that one. I think I started watching the Mike Zeck one, but that was... I thought it was more recent than that. Anyway, you guys should check it out. If you're into comic books at all, it's a great site. Really interesting deep dives on the industry and artists and creators and things. So, right, yeah, went on to try to do their own thing. Well, all right, I'm about done here. I'm just trying to find a good... I don't think... Is there a flag? This one could almost work. This is a modified. I will be back on Sunday to not do this. Will this fit on there? Or will it run into stuff? I think that's too big. Oh, that's so nice to have that back. That's too big. It needs to be smaller. Other stuffs, yeah. I'm going to do other stuffs. Not this stuff. I'm going to do other stuff. No, I've got 2 botanicals to build. So I think I'm done with this for now. I'll figure out the rest of this. I want to get basically more greebling in here to get more of this engine space in here. Although this is pretty good. Maybe I'll just kind of try to close that up. Maybe I'll extend it out from here. I don't know. Got to fill that up. It's just big and flat on the top. There's not a whole lot going on the top. I wish I could find a better top view. But I think it just kind of ends with the back thing right there. So I'll flatten that all out. But yeah, we'll do build some botanicals on Sunday. We'll do some chill building stuff. I don't know how many. These aren't that big. So these are the new ones. Chrysanthemum and the plum blossom. So they are 300 pieces each, 278 and 327. So we could probably get through these in a couple hours, I would guess. But so we'll do that on Sunday. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the cooler weather if you're getting any. I know we're loving it here. You should get that Jaws set then. We're gonna need a bigger boat. You can build Bruce. You can put a little gas can in him, a little air tank in his mouth. Make sure to save this. So I'll finish this up probably tomorrow, and I'll put a render out on Instagram. So look for that. Thanks for everybody for stopping by, and have a really great rest of your week. I'll talk to you soon.